All right, welcome in, welcome in. We are live. Uh, Blake is, well, I think he's still sleeping, but he couldn't quite get up early enough to do an early stream like he was hoping. But I am here. I am going to help you guys finalize your lineups for Week 16, Round 2 of the Fantasy Football Playoffs. So big week here. I'm going to help you guys set some winning lineups. So yeah, while I'm waiting for everyone to roll into the live chat, well, actually, we got Nahal in here already. Yo, good to see you, Nahal. Let me know if you have any start-sit questions. Let's talk a little bit about inactives and see if there's anyone significant that was inactive. I did notice that both Woody Marks and Nick Chubb are expected to play. So if anyone had picked up Jahar Jordan, hoping to possibly start him in a featured role, that is not going to happen, it would appear. So you can probably drop Jahar Jordan. He doesn't even have a good matchup next week in case you're hoping for more injuries to happen to Marks or Chubb. So, yeah, I think Jahar Jordan is safely droppable. All right, Nahal says Tyler Shuck or Baker. That's actually kind of an interesting one. I mean, if I felt like Baker were fully healthy and had no concerns whatsoever about that, it would easily be Baker. I was looking back on Baker Mayfield's game log against the Panthers this year and last year. Actually, I think even the last couple years. Basically, he has a pretty poor history against the Panthers for whatever that's worth, but with one very notable exception. He played the Panthers in, I think it was week 16 or 17 last season, and he absolutely went off for them. I think it was week 17. He scored like 44 fantasy points and 6-point passing touchdown leagues. So, could we see that happen again? I mean, he has his, full weapons back. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, heck, even Jalen McMillan, adding to Ibuka. I mean, heck, they even got Tez Johnson is like their 5th receiver. So it's a really nice wide receiver core. I think I'm going to go down with Baker. I mean, Shuck is a fine start. He's been good, but I just can't. Do I really want to lose my fantasy football matchup starting Tyler Shuck? Let me go down with Baker. I'm going to hope he's fully healthy. We know he's got his weapons. He was pretty good last week. Let's hope he's trending up here. But yeah, that was an interesting question. Hey, Tea Drinker in here, otherwise known as Hash. Oh yeah, you even got the hash. I love that. And yeah, original 100 checking in. Absolutely. We got the saluting emoji. Love it. And hey, let's get it. Says, what up, Dan? Similar questions, new day. Hey, I love it. Well, I wasn't able to be on camera for yesterday's live stream, so I was only able to weigh in the live chat. Yeah, for anyone that was new to the channel yesterday, I'm Dan. I'm sure you remember me from the chat yesterday, usually on camera. So here I am. Yeah, Blake was a little sleepy today, so just me today. Yeah, normally both of us stream, but we've just been having some technical issues that we hope to sort out soon. But yeah, good to see you, Hash. Let me know if you have any start-sit questions. And let's see. And yeah, good to see you. Let's get it. Okay, and let's get it as half PPR, Trevor Lawrence, Purdy, or Tyler Shuck. Okay, so we'll answer that one first. Gosh, I mean, Trevor Lawrence has been on a heater. I mean, Purdy as well. He had a big game last week. Shuck's been good. I think I'm going Purdy here. I know there's some concern that maybe the 49ers get up too big, but I just got a good feeling about that 49ers Colts game. It's indoors. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring there. Hopefully even the Colts manage to score a bit. I definitely don't mind Trevor Lawrence as a start. I mean, if you have him in there right now, I mean, I wouldn't pound the table and say, no, you got to get him out of there. I mean, I generally don't care about matchups that much. I'll use it as a tiebreaker, and I feel like Trevor Lawrence and Purdy are kind of neck and neck anyways. So I'll use the matchup as the tiebreaker there. But if you got Trevor Lawrence in there and you got a good feeling about him and you just want to ride the hot hand with him, I've got no issues with that whatsoever. So I would go with your gut there. But me personally, I would start Purdy. Hey, Edson Santos, good to see you. He says, yo. Hey, we got the PS3 family in here. Good to see you. Dan, what's good? Hey, everything's good. Let me know if you have any last minute questions here. And Edson Santos says LaQuinn Allen with a, what is that, stock price going up emoji, trending up emoji. Uh, Tutu Bumwell with a trending down emoji. Okay. Yeah, Tutu didn't show up for us. It sounds like he was a little bit of a sleeper for you, which I didn't even hate as a call. I wouldn't have hated that as a call. Yeah, he was invisible. But yeah, Edson, let me know what you think about LaQuinn Allen. Like, what makes you say that? I mean, I know Bashal Tootin is out, so are you just looking at LaQuinn Allen as the new handcuff? And are you concerned that Tootin might be healthy by next week, which would kind of put a damper on LaQuinn Allen as the handcuff? So let me know your thoughts there. But interesting name to bring that you brought up that you bring up there. So definitely want to hear more about that. The PS3 family says we rolling with Brissett over Dart. The upside with Dart is too tasty. Hey, I mean, if that's how you feel, I would 100% go with Dart. Shoot, I forget. Remind me. Maybe you mentioned it yesterday, but is this 6 points or 4 points for passing touchdowns? If it is 6 point, I mean, I could definitely see going either way. I mean, Brissett has been unbelievably consistent. I don't think he has scored less than 20 points in a 6 point passing touchdown league. So if it is 6 points, like, man, like I might lean Brissett there, but gosh, just on like name brand value, like that feels kind of terrible, doesn't it? I mean, we're starting Jacoby Brissett and round 2 of the playoffs over Jackson Dart, who's been pretty unbelievable. But 100% if it's 4 point passing touchdowns, then absolutely you're going Jackson Dart all day. But let me know. All right, PS3 family says still debating the Carter versus Estime 2. Feel Estime has an upside if they blow Jets out. You know what though? I mean, gosh, I mean, obviously neither of these are like amazing choices. I certainly think there's a scenario where either of them could be really, really solid. But both have a ton of risk. I mean, you could get 3 points from either of these guys, or you could get 13 pretty easily. Who knows? Like in a best case scenario, crazier things have happened, than them scoring like 20 points or anything. Not that I would expect that, but yeah, I mean, probably like a median outcome would be like, I don't know, 9 points or so. I wouldn't expect like miracles. But I don't think Estime catches the ball a lot. I did kind of like him as a prospect coming out. So it is kind of fun that he gets his opportunity here. I think I'd go Michael Carter. I mean, I do have some concerns about Demercado taking on a larger role this week because he was coming back from injury last week. And, they could have just kind of been easing him back in. They might ramp him up a bit. But even so, like, I mean, I'm not expecting Demercado to be like some workhorse. I mean, I think it'll probably be like a split backfield. Maybe Carter has the higher end of that share. But Carter catches more passes. So if this is full PPR, I'm 100% starting Carter over Estime personally. Let's get it. It says half PPR, BTJ, Marv, or Adonai Mitchell. Okay. All right, so yeah, BTJ against the Broncos, Marv against the Falcons. Probably not starting Marv. I believe the report says he's going to be limited in snaps. And then Adonai Mitchell, I don't know. I mean, he's good every other week here. Do we trust chasing the points with them in a playoff scenario here? I don't know if I feel great about that. Gosh, I mean, let's think about this for a second here. I mean, in a real league, what would I do with this exact lineup decision? Okay, so Adonai Mitchell, let me remind myself. Okay, he is at the Saints. Gosh, okay, and then, yeah, of course, BTJ is against the Broncos. I don't know if Pat Surtain is expected to lock him up or not. I mean, I'm not going to overthink that too much. I'm probably going to go down with Brian Thomas. I mean, if you have a strong feeling about Adonai Mitchell, I don't think it's crazy to start him over Brian Thomas. It's not like Brian Thomas has been a world beater this year. Far from it. But he does seem to be trending up with the Jaguars heating up, with Trevor Lawrence playing so great. That Cohen offense is in full effect, just like we saw with the Buccaneers last year. I mean, Baker Mayfield was a league winner. Could Trevor Lawrence be the league winner now? Possibly. But ever since they traded for Jacoby Myers, things have been going better for them. It seems like that has positively benefited Brian Thomas. So yeah, I'm leaning Brian Thomas, but I wouldn't hate it if you went with Adonai Mitchell. Now, if Brian Thomas was having an awesome season and you just wanted to play Adonai Mitchell because of the matchup, I would say, that's crazy. Don't do it. Don't get cute. But because Brian Thomas hasn't been very good overall, I don't think it's crazy to play Mitchell. So if you have a gut feeling there, go with it. I'm going to say Brian Thomas for the moment, but feel free to ask me again later because I may have changed my mind by then. That is pretty close. All right, the PS3 family says, also, is Woody playing? If not, we're starting Chubb. Woody Marks is expected to play last I saw. I believe he's active. I can double check on that right now as I'm talking here. So yeah, I wouldn't play Nick Chubb. I mean, even if Woody Marks was inactive, I wouldn't feel amazing about playing Nick Chubb. I mean, I guess it'd be a okay desperation start, but yeah, I wouldn't love it. I mean, I don't think Nick Chubb has a lot of juice left at this point. Um, okay, yeah, the sleeper blurb here says Woody Marks plans to play against Raiders. Okay, that was from 4 hours ago. Wait, does he play at 4 o'clock? Maybe that's why he's like it hasn't been officially ruled yet. Okay, yeah, it's a 4:25 game. So yeah, it sounds like Woody Marks is expected to play. Let's see, is there actually a decent source on that? Okay, according to Aaron Wilson of KPRC2. Okay, well, I don't know exactly what that source is, but sounds more, sounds somewhat credible. It's not just some generic BS AI sleeper blurb, because you got to be careful about that sometimes. So I would expect Woody Marks to play. I would not plan on starting Nick Chubb. So let me know what other options you have. Rage Rod in here, welcome. You say, asked this before, but forgot your opinion, Mike Evans or Michael Wilson? Gosh, that's a tough one. And you say it's a full PPR. Gosh. I mean, Marv is active. His snaps are expected to be limited, I believe. Let me check on that, by the way. I don't want to I heard that from my brother when I was texting him earlier, but I don't want to just take his word for that. I want to see the report with my own eyes here. So I'm pulling that up right now. Let's see what they're saying about Marv, because I'm sure I'm going to be asked about Marv a decent bit here. Let's check this out. Okay, so Marv, it says expected to play, will ease back in. And let's see. Okay. Oh, according to Adam Schefter, he's expected to play according to Adam Schefter. However, he could be at less than 100% as, quote, the team plans to ease him back in, end quote, right, Schefter. Okay, so there you go. So Adam Schefter, that is certainly a good source. So yeah, I mean, I do think it's safe to fire up Michael Wilson, but man, I mean, are you going to bench Mike Evans for Michael Wilson? Like, that just sounds wrong, doesn't it? I think I'm going to go with Mike Evans, but man, that is so tough. I mean, if Marv was completely out, I would probably, I might say Michael Wilson just because he's been insane in the targets and the great matchup. So, also I would say, like, if you, whichever one you have in there right now, I might just keep it because I really think you could argue this either way. But in a vacuum, if you're asking me, I'm probably just going to go down with Mike Evans. Like the name brand there just sounds a lot better. Like I'm going to be mad at myself if I start Michael Wilson and he does nothing and Mike Evans goes off. I mean, you're gonna feel like a moron, even if whether that's fair or not. So that's my thought there. The PS3 family says 4-point passing touchdowns. Okay. Oh, well then you're easily going Jackson Dart. Yeah. I mean, not that Brissett is a bad start in 4-point passing touchdown leagues, but I think that makes it pretty easily Jackson Dart. He gives you the rushing production, including touchdowns. So yeah, you're going Dart there. That's pretty easy. Edson Santos says Allen is just a better back when I see the two play. That's all. And he's playing. And I think you meant Bayshell Tootin. Oh yeah, Tootin isn't. Okay, interesting. Okay, so you're saying that you think Allen looks like the better running back than Bayshell Tootin. That's interesting. I mean, I really like Tootin. I know Blake does as well. I mean, very explosive player. Does have the fumbling issues. Has that cropped up too much this season? I think he had a fumble recently. I'm not sure how many he's had in the season, but I haven't heard about that too much. It seemed like that was like a big story in training camp or off season OTAs, whatever. But yeah, I don't hate that call. I mean, I kind of liked LaQuinn Allen as a deep sleeper, and he can catch passes. Really, one of the better, probably one of the best pass catching backs amongst the rookie running backs this season, at least coming out as a prospect. So. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting call there. I mean, I actually almost picked him up in my redraft league. So yeah, that's interesting there. By the way, let's see how many people we got in here. Okay, just got 3 people in here right now. Drop a like, help the algorithm and all that sort of stuff. Really appreciate the support. You guys were amazing yesterday. I was so blown away. And honestly, like that was probably my favorite live stream ever. And it's funny to say that because I wasn't even on camera. But I had such a blast. I mean, I loved all the conversation, the chat. We got on different fun life topics. We got talking about a bunch of like great TV shows, and we were all giving each other recommendations. And you guys got some great taste in television. Like I was loving the recommendations. So yeah, I got a list of some shows I need to watch now, so I'm excited about that. We are starting a new channel dedicated to reviewing movies and television. It's going to be called Cinema Savvy. I'm in the process of creating that, so definitely look out for that. We'll let you know when the channel is live. But yeah, Blake and I are going to be doing some reviews of that, movies, television, that kind of stuff. So that'll be a lot of fun. So that'll certainly be a fun thing in the off season. Of course, I mean this channel is going to be going year round as well. We're going to be talking Dynasty. We might even do some like DFS after the after week 17. Some of these contests where you draft like lineups for like the playoffs and that kind of thing. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that kind of thing. And then Edson Sanchez says also younger, taller back. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Nahal says Abuka or Estime. Gosh, I mean, how has Abuka been lately? He hasn't really done that much, right? I mean, let's see how he did last game. I think he was kind of underwhelming again, and I believe his snaps went down. I think Blake told me that like Jalen McMillan like ran more routes than him or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but Blake said something like that. Okay, yeah, and that what was that last Thursday last week? He only played 64% of the snaps. That was his lowest snap percentage since week 6. Had 7 targets, 4 catches, 64 yards. I mean, still a talented receiver, could still go off at any time. So I don't think he's like a horrible start. But yeah, you got to start him over Estime. Yeah, you got to start Ibuka over Estime. Yeah, I'll start Ibuka. You don't get cute with Estime. Ibuka's still been pretty awesome this season overall. I would go with Ibuka here. I'm hoping Baker has a big game. He did last season around the same time in the fantasy football playoffs. Went nuts against the Panthers. So let fingers crossed. Let's hope that happens again. And then Let's Get It says, oh, other option is Boutte. Okay, here, let me go back to your previous question and remind myself what you're referring to. Oh, yeah, that was the BTJ, Marv, or Adonai Mitchell. So, yeah, your other option is Keishawn Boutte. Yeah, I don't really love Boutte. I mean, he's just sort of like a desperation Hail Mary kind of play. I mean, any given week, he might, randomly get you like 80, 90 yards and a touchdown or two, but most of the time he's just going to get like, 3 targets and, 1 or 2 catches and, 20 or 30 yards or something like that. So yeah, and they're playing Matt Collins a lot, and they like to rotate the receivers, and yeah, so I don't love Boutte, but yeah, I mean worth bringing him up. I mean he does have the occasional spike week, but yeah, I think I would stick with so Brian Thomas versus Adonai Mitchell. I mean, let me just pull up Brian Thomas's game log because I don't own any of him anymore, so I kind of gotta kind of see what exactly he's been doing lately. Let's check this out here. Okay, so yeah, I mean, he had a good game against the Jets. It was a good matchup. 7 targets, 4 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown. He also had a carry for 5 yards. And the week before that, that week he had 21 points. And then the week before that, he had nearly 18 points, 6 targets, 3 catches, 87 yards. Yeah, so I think I'm leaning Brian Thomas. I mean, I don't know, like Adonai Mitchell, he just kind of feels like one of those like whack-a-mole guys where you're just never gonna like get him on the right week. I mean, maybe he stays hot. I mean, it seems like based on last week, Brady Cook likes throwing to him. I mean, I'll pull up Adonai Mitchell's game log here. Let's see exactly what we're looking at. All right, Adonai Mitchell. All right, here we go. So last week, 9 targets, 6 catches, 58 yards. That was at Jacksonville, so it was a really good matchup. The week before that against Miami, statistically, it was a bad matchup for fantasy. 6 targets, 1 catch, 24 yards, no touchdowns. That was good for 5 fantasy points. How is that even good for 5? That doesn't seem to add up. Wait, maybe I'm in like a weird scoring league here. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm in like I was looking in a league with like really big like bonuses for like first downs and big plays. So okay, I'm in a normal league now. So yeah, I may have given some wonky wonky stats for fantasy points when looking at some of the game logs earlier, but the stats were correct. The actual like stat line they put up, that was all correct. Anyways, okay, I'm in a normal league now. Okay, so yeah, 17 points last week. And then, the week before that, 3 points against Miami, 1 catch, 24 yards on 6 targets. Then, of course, the week before that, he was awesome. 12 targets, 8 catches, 102 yards, and a touchdown. So I guess it's just kind of like, are you feeling lucky? I mean, if you're feeling lucky and you kind of feel like you need to take a chance, I think you could throw Adonai Mitchell out there. But I think the process play would just be go with Brian Thomas. unless you just think like Surtain's going to lock him up and it's just going to be a disaster for him. So if you feel strongly about it, I don't think it's crazy to play Adonai Mitchell. Again, if Brian Thomas had been great all year, I would just start your stud. But I think this is at least a conversation. Um, so yeah, I think I'm sticking with Brian Thomas. But hey, if you got a feeling about Adonai Mitchell, like don't let me talk you out of it. Like it's not like Brian Thomas is some lock, but I think I'd rather go down with the name brand there, as superficial as that might sound. Or but I mean, just think of what you want to live with if this doesn't go right. I think you could live with starting your stud that you probably drafted pretty high, or at least your a theoretical stud. He was supposed to be a stud, but hey, he's coming on now, so maybe we're finally getting that. Let's hope so. All right. Anyways, next question in the chat. Let's see where we leave off here. Okay, here we go. Hey, we got I don't know how you say it, but Mimsy in the chat. Welcome. He says, "Hey, how's it going? Half point PPR, Rico Dottle or Quinshon Judkins?" Oh man, this is a tough one. I mean, if you got the feeling about Quinshon, I mean, feel free to go for it. I mean, it feels like he's due for a big game. It's that incredible matchup against the Bills, and I definitely messed up telling some people to bench Travion Henderson last week against the Bills, and has the 2 long touchdown runs. I mean, and I liked Henderson as a start last week, but you guys had such loaded lineups that you're asking me these questions of it was like Henderson versus Judkins versus Genty, and like, oh, can only start one, and I mean, you guys had a lot of good options, so that was tough. I mean, I definitely loved Henderson's upside last week. I do like Judkins' upside this week, although it definitely doesn't feel quite as likely as it did for Henderson, even even in advance of that game. So I don't hate it, but I think I'm probably going Rico Dottle. I mean, he seems to be the workhorse running back again for the Panthers. It's an incredible matchup against the Bucs. It really seems like they can't stop the run this season, unlike most seasons. I mean, we've seen the upside from Rico Dottle when he's in that featured role. And I know Chuba Hubbard's still healthy and will still have some role. And I know Rico Dottle's like what were they, like 40-point games or whatever, 35 to 40-point games, whatever they were. Both came when Chuba Hubbard was like completely out. But I still think, we've seen what Rico Dottle is capable of. I like the matchup at home against the Bucs. It seems like the Panthers like to run the ball recently. So I'm personally going Rico Dottle. That just feels like a much higher floor with honestly a similar ceiling. I mean, you could argue maybe even a higher ceiling. I mean, Rico Dottle can catch the ball. Judkins doesn't typically catch the ball. I mean, I'm not sure if are either Ford or Sampson active for this game. I don't think so. I could double check that. I don't think it matters even that much. Even assuming Judkins might catch some passes because one or both those guys is out. I think I'm still going Rico Dottle, but good question. And yeah, if you do have a feeling about Judkins, I don't think it's crazy to go with it, but Rico Dottle just feels a lot more reliable to me personally. And I think he has the same upside. All right, let's see. Next question. Let's get it. Says, would it be crazy if I went T-Law, Jacoby Myers, and BTJ? No, I don't think that's crazy at all. I mean, in fact, that might even be a good strategy. I mean, let me know how many players you start. Let's get it, or specifically how many offensive players. So, like, is this like a start 7 plus kicker and defense? Like 9 total. Is it start 8 plus kicker and defense? Like, let me know how many players you're starting, because like the fewer players you're starting, maybe like the less likely I would be to go with a strategy like that, because you typically would get like a higher ceiling diversifying a little bit. But at the same time, I mean, even if it's like a start 7, I don't think that's crazy. I mean, if Trevor Lawrence goes nuts again, and I do think that could be a really high scoring game between the Broncos and Jaguars, that just feels like one of those 4 o'clock games this season that we're just going to, if any of you guys play on Sleeper, I feel like every time, so frequently this season when the 4 o'clock games come, it's just like notification after notification after notification. And a lot of times it's like, Bo Nix touchdown. It always seems to involve the Broncos. And then we know the Jags are hot. So I could just see a lot of scoring in that game. I know the Broncos have a good defense, but I could still see a lot of scoring. So maybe you just make a bet on that Jaguars offense, and specifically the passing offense. It'd be kind of a fun double stack. So yeah, I don't hate that at all. I mean, heck, just go for it. If Trevor Lawrence throws 5 touchdowns and maybe 2 or 3, imagine if 2 or 3 of them are to, Myers and BTJ, I mean, you're gonna be loving life, and I think that'll work, very, very well. So, yeah, I don't hate that at all. I think that's kind of fun. All right, and then hey, Don Mackin here, welcome. He says everyone says the same thing about Adonai, but he consistently gets targeted since going to the Jets, and his two down games were his first with the team, and the game when Tyrod went down early. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, he needed some time to get acclimated to the Jets, and then yeah, that down game that was sandwiched in between the two big games. Tyrod went down in that game, so maybe the Jets were a little discombobulated. Maybe Brady Cook wasn't quite ready to go in. Maybe wasn't totally prepared for that moment. So yeah, I mean, I do not think Adonai Mitchell is a bad start by any means. It's a solid matchup. Maybe this is the week he puts up second good game in a row here. I certainly wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, if anyone out there really loves Adonai Mitchell this week, like, hey, don't let me talk you out of it. Don't think it's crazy. I mean, at the very worst, I think he's a premium desperation play. Yeah, at the very worst. And yeah, if you like him over someone like BTJ or kind of someone in that range, maybe someone who's been kind of disappointing this year or that also has question marks. Like, I don't think it's crazy to start Adonai Mitchell. Let's see. Okay, and then Don Mac adds, it's not that whack-a-mole. Okay, hey, fair enough. I respect the opinion. I think that's some good context that you shared there about, when his down games occurred. So yeah, I think that's something interesting to think about. I'll kind of let that percolate a little here. And then, hey, Michael Hart, welcome. Says, bro, what's good? What a week. Was an underdog going into it, facing the likes of CMC and James Cook, among others. But unfortunately, I had Puka also. So I am a 40-plus point underdog at this point. Hey, I mean, we can commiserate here. So I got 6 teams left in the playoffs, all dynasty teams. And I faced 2 Puka Nakuas this week. So that was rough. Yeah, we won't, we won't belabor that too much. But hey, it's fantasy football. So much is out of our control here, and you got to accept that. I mean, we're all gonna be facing like awesome loaded stack teams in the playoffs. Particularly in dynasty. So like everyone's gonna have these like stud players. They're gonna be a lot of points scored. So yeah, I mean, that's just kind of the situation. But hey, anything can happen. So yeah, just focus on what you can control here. Set your absolute best lineup that you can right now. Make good start sit decisions and swing for the upside because you're going to need it. So if you have one of these decisions where it's like one guy's a clear floor play, one guy's a clear upside play, just swing for the upside. Like, you kind of think of it as like having nothing to lose, but still make smart decisions though, but just swing for the upside for sure. And then chat jumped around on me. I know Blake was dealing with that yesterday. Okay, I think I found my spot. Edson Santos says Brissett at a 25 fourth for a 27 second. How are we feeling about the move? I'm good with that. I mean, I'm sure some people are getting like a second for Brissett, but I wouldn't say it's like too common. I'd say probably a more common price would be like 2/3 or maybe a third and a fourth. I'm sure some people have maybe even gotten them for like a single third. So I think there's kind of a range of prices there. But yeah, if you got to throw in a fourth to turn Brissett into a second, like I'm good with that. I mean, it's possible Brissett could be a starter next year somewhere as like kind of a bridge quarterback. I mean, when you play this well, someone's going to want you, in their quarterback room and probably even starting for, at least a few games, if not a season. So I do think that's in the range of outcomes. So if hearing that would make you feel like, oh man, like I'd rather have him than a second, then maybe you hang on to him, or maybe you counter and remove the fourth and say, hey, I'll do it for a second straight up, but I'm not going to kick you back a pick. I think that would be a fair counter. But if you just feel like cashing out and you're not confident Brissett's going to be a starter somewhere next year, or maybe you just think he's on some magical run that will come crashing back to earth at some point, I don't hate that move. But you might want to play a little hardball, see if you can take the fourth out of it. And then let's see. Oh, hey, it looks like we got Blake in the chat here as Dynasty Savvy. So yeah, good to see you, Blake. So yeah, we kind of switch roles here. I was sort of like being the moderator yesterday, and also I was like answering questions in the live chat and just sort of engage in the fun conversation with everyone. So I guess Blake can do that today, and I can be on camera. So kind of fun that we're switching roles here. And let's see. Mimsy says all good points. I was leaning Rico too. Hey, good to hear it. Great minds think alike. So yeah, fire up Rico Dottle. I'm definitely, well, actually, I only have one Rico Dottle left, and I was debating between him and Tyrone Tracy. I got Rico Dottle in there right now. I think I'm just going to leave it. The thing about Tracy, let me know what you guys think about this. But I was hearing Fantasy Stock Exchange talk about this, I believe it was, and they were saying that basically the Giants are actually kind of riding the hot hand in the backfield. That they essentially give both Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary a drive early in the game. And then whichever one's like playing better, that's kind of the one they ride with for, the majority of the game. So I didn't really fully realize that, although it's not like too surprising. But I mean, Tracy has been awesome. I mean, he's scored like 20 points in 3 of his last 4 games. Also in this particular league, like the big play bonuses are pretty significant. So I think you could argue that would, give Tracy a little bit of a boost compared to normal. But man, I still think that's close between him and Rico Dottle. So if anyone has any thoughts on that, just type Rico or Tracy in the chat and let me know what you think. Maybe do like a hashtag Dan if to make it clear that you're answering my question. So hashtag Dan, right? Tracy or Rico in the chat. Let me know what you guys do. Keep in mind the pretty big play bonuses. But hey, I mean Rico could do that a little bit as well, right? But I do think Tracy's has a little more speed if I'm not mistaken. But let me know what you guys think. Hashtag Dan. Give me your answer. Let's see here. Next question. Michael Hart says, I've made some last minute decisions. Just benched Genty for Michael Carter. No, don't do it. Don't do it, Michael. Don't do it. I'm telling you. I mean, sure, anything can happen. I mean, Carter could outscore Genty. But yeah, I think that is an all-time trap. Not only that, but last minute lineup decisions do not typically age well unless there is a really, really good reason for it. Like some news came out or there was something that that came to your attention that you didn't realize before, that you didn't consider, or that you overlooked. There's got to be a really good reason for me to make like a last minute lineup decision. But even if it wasn't a last minute, I think that's crazy. I think you'll really regret that. But hey, I mean, if you really feel like that's the right decision, I mean, I'd hate to talk you out of it, but let me try to talk you out of it because I really think you'll regret that. I mean, I've seen this so many times in fantasy. Like so many times I've been the person doing that exact thing, like playing the guy that, been a little better lately, who's like a no-name player, who doesn't have like half the talent of Ashton Genty. I mean, I know Genty's situation is horrible, but I've made decisions like that before. They typically do not age well. I mean, watch Demercado have a bigger role. I mean, Michael Carter will probably score you like 7 points and watch Genty go off. I mean, because it makes no sense for Genty to go off. I mean, the Raiders are a train wreck. Bad offensive line. They got Kenny Pickett at quarterback. They play the really good Houston Texans defense. Everything says Genty's going to, have another dud, just like the last 2 games, right? But I swear, so many times I've seen this where like a stud, talented player who's been disappointing recently goes up against like the toughest possible matchup where it just makes no sense for them to do anything. And it's like a guaranteed spike week, just like out of nowhere. And I think one of the reasons for that is like, think of it from the perspective of the defensive players on Houston. It's like, oh, we're the Texans defense. We're awesome. And oh my gosh, like we got the crappy Raiders coming to town. Like they suck. They got Kenny Pickett at quarterback. We don't need to prepare for this game. We don't even really need to, do very much to, get ready to go in this game. This is going to be a cakewalk. We can just kind of roll out of bed and destroy these guys. Nope. Like it doesn't work like that. Like you take your opponent lightly in the NFL. You're going to be in for a surprise and watch the Raiders then have a big game, or at least Genty have a big game. So please. But I would start Genty. I mean, anything's possible, but for the love of God, start Ashton Genty. I'm telling you, I've seen this story so many times. It doesn't end well when you start the Michael Carters of the world. But to finish your comment here, you say, but I'm thinking about benching Tet for Estime against the Jets. Is that crazy? Yes, that is crazy. Same logic. I won't repeat it all. Please start Genty and Tet. But I'll move on to some other questions. But please start Genty and Tet. I don't want to see you go down like that, Michael. If you lose because of that, and both those guys have big games, Tet and Genty, like, I mean, you're going to be feeling so awful. I mean, you're going to live with that for the whole off season. Like, you don't want to do that to yourself. So don't do that to yourself, Michael. I beg of you. All right, let's see. Okay, and Blake says, that's tough, Michael. You got to pray CMC goes down or something. I'm not sure which comment that was referring to. But anyways, Michael Hart says, LOL. Oh, shoot. Okay. Oh, and then he says, tell me about it. Okay, yeah. So I already answered that. Hey, got my brother in the chat here. Welcome. You say, have two big questions. I'm in the semifinals and I am a long shot to win. Need high upside. Okay, so the first question is start Baker Mayfield, JJ McCarthy, Bryce Young. I think you got to go Baker there. He had 44 fantasy points against the Panthers around the same time last year in the fantasy playoffs. I'm hoping he's fully healthy by now. I don't know for a fact, but I mean, he's not in the injury report for what that's worth. I don't think he has been in a while. That doesn't mean he's 100% healthy. A lot of players aren't this time of year. But I mean, if Baker's healthy, like he's clearly the best quarterback of this group. I'm not scared of the matchup. Yeah, fire up Baker. Go down with your best player there. And then your second question is start Marv back from injury at 4:30 p.m. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about Marv. I mean, I guess he still has the upside because, I mean, the Cardinals' passing offense is playing great. Brissett's playing great. It's a great matchup against the Falcons. It's in a warm weather venue in Arizona, I believe. Well, either way, if it wasn't, it would be in Atlanta, which is indoors. So either way, we shouldn't have any concerns about weather. But yeah, Jem, let me pull up your lineup here because we are in the same league. This is my home league. It's been running for about I think just over 25 years now. Started in 2000, which sounds crazy. So let me pull up your team, bro, and let me get a good look at this because let me see what your other options are. Okay, the Detroit Gamblers is your team name here. Ooh, I see you got McCarthy in there. I mean, hey, if that's what you're feeling, I mean, feel free to go for it. I mean, trust your gut here. It is a great matchup against the Giants, though it is on the road. I don't know how the weather's going to be, but man, oh my God, I didn't realize how good McCarthy's been the past 2 weeks. So I guess it's not crazy then. I mean, if you're feeling that, in this scoring, 6-point passing touchdowns, 26 fantasy points, and then 28 and a half fantasy points the last 2 weeks here. So, I mean, they were both great matchups, but hey, this week's a great matchup. Hopefully the weather isn't a concern. You might want to at least check on that, just to kind of know what you're dealing with. Not that I'd worry about it too much. But that's interesting, though. I mean, it makes me think about it a little more. I think I'd still lean toward Baker, though, because I just feel like I know more what I'm getting, and he's got his full arsenal of weapons. But in terms of your second question there about Marv, I see you got him in there right now. I mean, I know you're an underdog, bro, so I don't think it's crazy to just kind of swing for the upside. Maybe he ends up playing a full complement of snaps. Like maybe he looks good out there and he's playing well and they just kind of leave him in there and hope he stays healthy. So, I mean, we have seen that happen before. Certainly makes me nervous, but if you think that gives you more upside, like I definitely don't hate it. Okay, it looks like you benched Chris Godwin as a result. I mean, I do think Godwin's a pretty solid start. He's had 3 double-digit fantasy point weeks in a row here, like 11, 10, 14. I think I'd probably lean Baker and Godwin. You also kind of get the stack there, so you kind of correlate your bets a little bit. So that's the way I'd lean. But, I mean, given that you have McCarthy and Marv in there right now, I'd hate to tell you to make a last-minute lineup change at 11 minutes before kickoff. So go with your gut there. Maybe avoid the last-minute change. In a vacuum, I think I'd go Baker and Godwin. But, I mean, just think about how you would feel in each scenario. Like what would you feel better with? If you went down with Baker and Godwin, or if you went down with keeping your lineup as is and sticking with McCarthy and Marv. So whatever your answer is to that, whatever you'd feel better about, if it, even if it went wrong, that's what I would go with. So, but yeah, great questions. I hope that helped, bro. Good to see you in here. And then let's get it. Says offensive players is start 7 plus kicker and defense. Okay. So yeah, I mean, that is a shallower league, but I mean, that's normally what I would expect for redraft. So when I said that I'd be okay starting Trevor Lawrence and BTJ and Jacoby Myers all in the same lineup, I was kind of assuming that. So yeah, I'd be okay with that. I mean, it's not like the most ideal thing in the world, but there's certainly a scenario where that works out awesome for you. I mean, it's not like I said, it's not like Trevor Lawrence can't throw, 3 to 5 passing touchdowns and, 2 or 3 of them, couldn't go to those 2 receivers. So I think that might just be your best bet at this point. I would just kind of go all in on the Jags. And hey, if 4:00 comes and, my sleeper notifications are going crazy because the, Jags and Broncos are, having a crazy shootout, like you're going to be a happy man, I bet. So yeah, I think I would go with that. I think that'd be pretty fun. And let's see. Okay, yeah. And then my brother says other option is Chris Godwin at 1 or Alec Pierce or Xavier Worthy as the other options. Yeah, I mean, I don't like Alec Pierce. I would eliminate him. Xavier Worthy, I mean, he really hasn't been that great this year. I don't think I want to go down with Xavier Worthy. I'd go Godwin or Marv. Again, I think in a vacuum, I'd go Godwin and correlate with Baker. I mean, Godwin's an awesome receiver when he's healthy. Seems like he's looked pretty good out there. Maybe we haven't even seen the best from him yet. And I'm hoping Baker has a game like last year, but go with your gut on this one, bro. Okay. Got Jacob in here. Welcome. He says Gainwell versus Detroit or Ibuka versus Carolina. I'm going Kenneth Gainwell all day. I'm assuming that's a full PPR league. Gainwell's been awesome. He's been on a tear. Ibuka has not. Go with Gainwell there. Pretty easy decision for me. I feel like the Lions will struggle with a running back like Gainwell. I say that as a Lions fan. Edson Santos says, I need AD to pop off for 30. Okay, hey, fair enough. I mean, he certainly gives you the upside. So, if you need the upside, I don't hate that. So, let's get it. Says, I don't know what's worse, Blake and Dan, my manager situation, or the fact that I'm considering starting 3 Jags in the semis. LOL. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I mean, yeah, if anyone missed the chat yesterday, let's get it. Manager at work confessed her feelings to him. So that was an interesting situation. So hopefully, let's get it is updating his resume on Indeed. That is such a weird and awkward situation, especially considering like she's your superior. It's like, I mean, it's a lose-lose situation. I mean, if you reject her, you're probably gonna be in trouble, and then if plus you have a girlfriend, which I should mention as well. And by the way, we got 9 in here. Drop a like if you guys would be so kind. If I answered your question, if I gave you a good answer, be so kind and drop me a like here. Help the algorithm. Appreciate everyone's support. You guys were amazing yesterday. Just that was such a fun chat. So good to have everyone in here. I'll go rapid fire through these last questions here, so that way I can answer everyone's questions before kickoff. So I'm not going to be giving a lot of explanation. I'll probably just give just my answer and maybe one sentence if I have a really good reason I want to share. Let's see. Jacob says Schefter just said Mark's not expected to play. Oh wow, I did not see that. I'll pull that up on Sleeper, just make sure. I just like to see things for myself. But man, that's crazy because I swore I was just read that he was expected to play. I think it was a different source than Schefter on this report. Let's see what Sleeper says. Okay, Marks remains questionable, but appears likely to be inactive for the contest. Ian Rappaport of NFL Network reports. Okay, so I guess we're not getting Woody Marks after all. I mean, let's double check on Nick Chubb. I mean, I actually just dropped a Jahar Jordan in a league, so I'm hoping Nick Chubb is active. Hey, by the way, in the chat, let me know, because I got to make one last lineup decision myself here. Would you start in a full PPR, Derrick Henry or Kenneth Gainwell? Full PPR league, a lot of money on the line. So let me know. I wish I could start both, but just answer Henry or Gainwell and put #Dan. But anyways, back to your questions. Let's see. Okay, so wait, let's look at Nick Chubb. Let's see what it says about him. Nick Chubb expected to play, according to Adam Schefter. Okay, so you don't have to worry about Jahar Jordan then. I guess Nick Chubb is a decent, a desperation play, but even then I'm not super excited about it. And maybe Jahar Jordan has some kind of role. So yeah, I wouldn't feel good about starting any Texans running back today. But yeah, make sure you get Woody Marks out of your lineup. So if you have a better option that's playing at 1 p.m. here Eastern time, about to kick off, you might want to consider throwing that running back in there. I would not count on Woody Marks. Let's see here. And T Drinker says, off topic, was in a custody battle and got the news that I won. So I'll have my daughter 4 days a week. Hey, congratulations. That is amazing news. So happy to hear that. Yeah, I mean, it can be tough for men in these kind of situations. So that's amazing. I'm really happy for you. Very cool. Let's see. And then Jacob says, Schefter just tweeted. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Edson Santos says, chat jumped around on me. Edson Santos says, DK, as in Chimere DK, Stephon Diggs, or Parker Washington, Malik Davis. I would probably go. Yeah, I could see Parker Washington being sneaky. I know the Jags have a lot of pass catchers there. Diggs has been so disappointing. I don't think DK did much last week, did he? Chimere DK. Let me just look really fast. I know we're getting down to the wire here, trying to answer everyone's questions. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'll go in Parker Washington, just on a gut feeling there. And the Jags are a wagon, so I'll hop on the bandwagon with the Jags. All right, Smitty says T Higgins, Sutton, Olave, Jacoby Myers. I'm going to go T. Higgins there. But man, that's close. I mean, Sutton's a good play. Olave, man, you got a really loaded team. So, I mean, you should be in good shape there regardless. Yeah, I think I'd go T. Higgins, but oh man, that is such a tough one. Those are all really good options. But yeah, I think I like them in the order you listed them because I do like Sutton this week as well. I'd go T. Higgins. He just seems to be like a league winner in the fantasy playoffs. He always seems to go off this time of year, so I'd go Higgins. Jacob says Higgins, Olave, easy. Wait, I don't know who easy is. Blanking on that. I would go Higgins over Olave though. Somebody says Javonte Williams, Aaron Jones, Montgomery. Okay, I'm assuming you're just starting one here. I would go Javonte Williams there. Frank, no one says need one. Harvey, Hall, Judkins. Gosh, that's a tough one. I think I'd go Harvey. I just think Broncos, Jags going to be a lot of scoring. But I think it's close with Judkins. But I'd go Harvey. I just want pieces of that game. Smitty says start one running back, Hunt, Montgomery, Hall. Let's go David Montgomery there. I could see him scoring a touchdown or two today. Edson Santos says law of averages. My brother says, I don't know. At Carolina feels like a trap. Got to think about it. I mean, I could see that. I mean, Baker doesn't have a great history against the Panthers going back a couple years. But that one game last year, 44 fantasy points, he's certainly capable of it. The Panthers defense certainly doesn't scare me. So, but I hear you. I could see it feeling like a trap. I could kind of see Baker being feast or famine. So I get your perspective on that. T Drinker says thanks. Somebody says Godwin or Diggs. I would go Godwin there. And then let's see. We had another question. This me says Jake Ferguson or Gadsden. I think I am going to go Gadsden there. Ferguson plays what? Chargers. Yeah, I'll go Gadsden. Same game there. My brother says history has often but not always been last minute changes blow up in my face. Haha. I'll think about it though. Thank you. Yeah, my pleasure, bro. Smitty says we only have 10 minutes left. LO. Quick answers. Dan, start Harvey. Jacob asks. Or you're saying start Henry. Okay, fair enough. Jacob says Smitty if you need ceiling play, Diggs floor play, or ceiling play Diggs, floor play Godwin. T Drinker says, loving the stream before kickoff. We manifested this. Yeah, you guys totally did. You guys earned it. 21 likes yesterday. You guys were incredible. When does Derrick Henry even play? Like, do I need to make this decision now? Let me pull this up as I'm answering these questions here. Let's see. All right, Derrick Henry plays at, if I can find it. Oh, okay, he doesn't play till 8:20. Oh, and Gainwell plays a 4, so I don't have to worry about that now. So back to your questions. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's all the questions. So yeah, it is 12:59. So we only got a minute left here. Yeah, I mean, I could stay on for a few more minutes if you guys have any, because I'm sure, of course, some of your starts and questions involve players at 4:00 at Sunday night game, Monday night game. So if you guys have any other questions, I'll probably stay on here for just a few more minutes. But yeah, awesome stream here. Glad we were able to make it happen. You guys, I couldn't believe how incredible you guys are with all the support yesterday. And it was just such a fun stream. I mean, the conversation was awesome. I love that we were talking about like movies and shows and everything. And we just got on so many like fun different topics, and it's just really cool getting to know everyone. I mean, we were talking about like different life topics, and heck, that even came up today with T Drinker sharing about getting custody of his daughter, which is so amazing. And so yeah, just cool getting to know everyone a little bit. Even though we mostly talk fantasy football, like it's fun talking about some other things, getting to know you guys. I mean, probably like one of my favorite things about the channel is just kind of creating like the sense of community here. I mean, it's just like really cool connecting with you all, connecting with people, getting to know new people, and it's pretty cool that the internet can bring us all together. And not only do we all love fantasy football, and a lot of us love specifically Dynasty, of course. But also it's just cool that like how much how many common interests we have. I mean, you guys are making like awesome TV show recommendations, and I can tell you guys have some really good taste in that. And yeah, I was loving the conversation about that. Yeah, and then I forget who was it that brought up like True Detective season 1. I was like, oh man, like you're speaking to my heart now, because that's just like one of my favorite seasons of television. And Tiffany was in the chat yesterday for the first time, and she was talking about how like good the writing is in The Wire. And I'm actually a writer, so like that definitely like speaks to my heart. So yeah, just so many amazing people in here. So just really appreciate you all. Definitely drop me a like on the way out if you guys would be so kind. Make sure you're subbed if you are not subbed yet. We're pushing toward 200 subs, so like help us get there. We're having a lot of fun growing this channel, and the more we grow the more we grow the channel, like just the more active we're going to be with it, like the more live streams we're going to do, like the more videos we're going to put out. We definitely want to get back to putting out actual like recorded, edited videos. So yeah, we hope to get back to that this off season. But yeah, I mean, the more support you guys show, like the more we can do this. And heck, I mean, it would be amazing to like do this like full time sometime in the future. I mean, not that I expect that. I mean, that's not something that like Blake and I set to do. I mean, kind of just like did this for fun and thought it'd be a fun project. But I mean, heck, I mean, if you guys keep showing all the support and keep helping the channel grow, just the fact that that's even a possibility, it absolutely blows my mind. And that would be so cool. I mean, I would love to do this as a full-time job. So heck, help me get there. Appreciate everyone's support. And yeah, I think I will probably sign off here. Games are kicking off. So good luck to everyone and enjoy the football. And I will leave you guys with some last minute words of wisdom here. Of course, start your studs. If you're feeling uncertain about something, don't make the last minute lineup change. Just leave it the way it is. Your first instinct was probably correct. There'd have to be a really good reason to make like a last second lineup change, in my opinion. Also, probably like my best bit of advice is just enjoy the football. You know what players you're starting. Don't live on your phone the whole time. Like those are always like the worst Sundays when I'm just like, staring down at my phone rather than just like, relaxing and, enjoying the football on the television screen. Instead I'm like just like looking down at my phone, looking at all like my matchup scores. Like that's never very fun. And you're just going to be focusing on the negative and what went wrong. And oh shoot, this guy scored. And oh damn it, that guy scored. And oh, I'm playing against him in 2 leagues. And like, don't even worry about it. Just sit back, enjoy the football. It's out of your control at this point. Half of fantasy football is luck. So, just accept that. Just sort of embrace the unpredictability of it, the variance. You make the best decisions you can, and be satisfied with the results. Let the chips fall where they may. So, hope everyone enjoys a really fun Sunday of football. Hope your teams win. And yeah, thank you again, everyone, for the support. I will put the Discord link in the description as soon as the stream ends. So definitely join our Discord. Basically, I mean, we want to build the same community that we're building here in the on YouTube. We want to carry that over to the Discord. So that way, anytime we're not live streaming, we have a place that we can all come together, 24/7, ask start sit questions, ask trade questions. We also have some like fun text channels in there. So check it out. We recently added this text channel called Worst Trade Ever. So you can just like drop screenshots of your worst trade offers in there. If you can, scribble out the name so we don't we don't embarrass anyone. Don't put anyone on blast or humiliate anyone. But that's kind of a fun thing. I dropped like a really brutal trade offer I received recently in that text channel that you guys wouldn't believe. So definitely check that out. I'm going to put the Discord link in the description right now. Thank you again, everyone. This has been really awesome. And hit the notification bell. You never know when we're going to be going live again. So yeah, I will see you guys soon. Good luck with your fantasy teams. Peace out.